The days that you spend at home actually doing the work that you're supposed to do, actually doing the self-improvement habits, the good self-improvement habits, working out, reading, meditating, journaling, thinking back on your past actions, just visioning the world, doing all those things, this is not time wasted. This is not time that you should be ashamed of. This is time that you should actually cherish and that you should prioritize over anything else. The time that you spend in solitude, focusing on your goals, focusing on your mission, it is the best way that you could ever grow as a man, as a masculine man. This is the best way that you could make full, amazing progress towards your mission. Especially as a young man. If you're a young man, chances are you don't have anything else to really live for. Unless, you have like a family already, which you probably don't if you're my age. So instead you can allocate a bunch of time and a bunch of resources into focusing on the present moment, focusing on the mission that you have at hand, the task that you're going to face, by working in solitude, by being by yourself, by focusing on your own, or maybe, with your family around, being at home, focusing in this environment which that you can really prosper in, and do the work, right? You should not be ashamed of these moments in your life, because they are genuinely what will bring you the most growth and the most progress out of your self-improvement journey. It's not a time that you spend out being with your friends and partying and drinking and just, having cheat meals on your diet and just breaking a bunch of your promises that you've made to yourself because, oh, well, you're on a night out with friends, right? No, those are not the times that you should be focusing on. The times that you should be focusing on, the mission that you should be allocating for yourself, should be genuinely to spend as much time as you possibly can focusing in solitude on your mission. And, a lot of people won't do this. A lot of people genuinely won't spend this time in solitude by themselves with their own thoughts, with their own actions, doing the work that they should do, because for some reason it feels off, because they feel like they're missing something. Well, what they're getting as this feeling, it's basically their fear of missing out. It is basically their embodiment of that fear of missing out. It's that fear that you would get, when you feel like you're missing out on a social occasion, and this fear has been developed over the past hundreds, from the past tens of thousands of years. I mean, ever since, we as the human race existed, we've developed this fear of being socially outcasted, which meant certain death 10,000 years ago. But today, it doesn't mean anything. I mean, especially, if you have much better, more productive things to do, then you genuinely, why do you think that something bad will happen? I mean, you might have this kind of doubt in your mind that, man, I'm missing out on this super fun occasion that, like, I could go out with my friends and have fun and be this, but would you really honestly trade time spent with some people who genuinely don't care that much about you for time that you could spend genuinely just focused on your mission, genuinely just fully focused on what you have to do in the moment, fully focused on your mind, fully focused on your thoughts, on your embodiment of the world, on your beliefs about the world? I wouldn't trade that, man. And I've made this choice countless times in the past year, where I've decided that instead of spending time with all those other people, I'd rather be on my own, and I'd rather focus on my mission. I'd rather focus on my own growth. And honestly, I think I do it every day. I make this choice because every day there's a social occasion. There can always be a social occasion that you can go out on. Genuinely. Every single day, you just have to look for it, and you can always find a social occasion to fill your time with. Especially, if you've been on self-improvement for a little while, you have some genuine, like, basic or a bit more advanced than basic social skills then you can genuinely just kind of get anywhere, then do anything, right? But not what I want to do, because I want to focus on achieving more progress so that I can grow as a man, right? And I'm not going to have that growth while being on a party and drinking and eating all this junk food and being with people that don't even care that much about me, who genuinely don't even know who I am, like, fully, who don't even truly know who I am. And I was journaling about this yesterday, and I thought to myself, man, my fear of genuinely missing out is not justified. It's literally not even justified, because that idea that you're missing out on something, right? That idea of missing out, it means that you have to miss out on something important. And that's where, like, the thought struck me. I'm not even missing something important by not being with those people. Most of the time, you're genuinely not missing anything important. Like 99.9% of the time, it's genuinely never going to be anything important. And you might think to yourself, well, what about the 0.01%, where there will be something important? Would you honestly trade that, like, all that fucking time wasted for that 0.01% chance that something would happen, which might not genuinely bring you as much growth as it would as genuinely spending time in solitude? I mean, I think it's like 100% chance that you're always going to get some sort of growth out of spending time in solitude. Just even simply not even doing anything, just simply you thinking, spending some time in complete silence, just no distractions, just focusing on what you think, focusing on what your thoughts are, focusing on the beliefs that you've developed over the past years. And that is really, really valuable, especially for somebody who's trying to change their mental capacity, the mental aspect of their lives, right? The people who want to change that, or the people who want to improve that, they will have to focus on their minds relentlessly. And you're not going to do that by being out on a party and genuinely drinking and having all these kinds of cheat meals and being literally wasting your time away, right? You're not going to achieve any kind of progress from that time, And I reminded myself, that I'm not even missing out on anything important. Yeah, I'm missing out. Genuinely, I'm missing out on another activity. But at the same time, those people that are at the party right now, and they're all drinking and having cheat meals and eating junk food and being happy and living a balanced life and being all these kinds of crazy social butterflies and whatever the fuck, right? While they're out there doing that, I'm here and I'm making 10 times the progress that they could be making, or that they're making at the moment. And this is what motivates me to go forward, because I know that I am, like, comparing, like, 100 people, I don't think more than 25 would choose this instead of that. Less than 25 of those people would genuinely, this is like purely out of my mind, but like this is kind of what I've come to believe, what I've come to understand through the past year, that I've realized that genuinely not a lot of people, they want to do is waste their time away, right? You're going to have a little percentage of that high number that will actually focus on truly important things. So by you genuinely just choosing not to waste your time with those things, and choosing instead to focus entirely on your own personal growth in solitude, you will be on top of the world. You'll be on top of that high number of people who will genuinely be making 10 times less the progress that you're making right now, or that you could be making, right? They're making 10 times less progress by being at a party or being at this bullshit social occasion that has no fucking true meaning to it. It's like genuinely just like a waste of time, right? Most of the time, that's genuinely what it is. Just a bunch of bored people who don't even want to admit like the shit periods of their lives, so they'd rather actually just drown that in all kinds of fun activities, right? why the fuck should... I mean, I know what period of my life I'm in, right? Why the fuck would I want to be with those people who just refuse to believe where they are right now? They refuse to understand where they are right now. They refuse to understand that they're living miserable lives. Instead, they're trying to drown it with all these kinds of different activities and habits and substances and whatever. Why would I want to be with them when I could genuinely be here right now recording a video? Why would I waste that time there when I could be here focusing on my own mission, focusing on my own growth as a man? Genuinely, I think like 15 minutes or 30 minutes spent genuinely thinking about your life, spent genuinely thinking about the way that you're spending your life, the way that you're seeing the world, that you're understanding all these different things. 30 minutes worth of that is worth more than an entire day of partying and taking all these kinds of drugs and being like this crazy social butterfly that everybody wants you to be in your younger years, right? 30 minutes of intense fucking reflection will bring you more growth and will make you genuinely value your life more than an entire day, 24 hours spent binging junk food and drugs and alcohol and shit people and whatever. 30 minutes. It is, I don't even know, it's crazy, man, because I mean, it takes you like, honestly, like your brain is always has all these very important realizations just kind of put on hold. You know, this is the way that I see it now. It feels like our brains generally have all these kinds of important realizations about the world, about us. And, you know, they just kind of put it on hold. Okay, alright, before we get this realization to this guy, let's also pump him full of other bullshit thoughts he doesn't care about. And this person, you know, who's just always indulging in the thoughts that are just flowing in, he never gets to the end part of his brain, like the back side of his brain, which is filled with all those important realizations. So he's just like indulging in all those different thoughts that are just pumping in constantly, like the thoughts that you get on a genuinely on like a momentarily basis, right? Most of us, we indulge in those things instead of genuinely seeking beyond those things and seeking to the back of our minds where we have all those important realizations. And bro, it takes like 30 minutes to uncover those realizations. It takes 30 minutes of intense considering and reflection so that you can genuinely reach very meaningful conclusions in your life. And if you think to yourself, yeah, I've already like spent 2 hours genuinely thinking, but I never came to like a proper conclusion, well, then it means that you're not doing it right. That means that you are genuinely still indulging in all those thoughts, and you genuinely just can't seem to get at the back of it. And you know, this might happen if you have like genuinely have something that's just bugging you and bothering you at this very moment, like very hot, like very forcefully, right? But if you get rid of that thought, if you genuinely get rid of anything that could be bugging you, and you fully focus on your own actions, on your own perception of the world, on the way that you see everything, you know, you just kind of start asking yourself these kinds of big questions like, who the fuck am I? What do I want from the world? What does the world want from me? You know, like you'll have like a bunch of these questions just lined up, right? In your mind. You just have to look for them. Genuinely, it's that simple, bro. Spend 30 minutes in solitude thinking, and you will gain more progress, more mental clarity than the person who spends an entire day out on all these bullshit social occasions. But don't take this the wrong way, okay? I feel like it's kind of useless to point this out on like the 14-minute mark in the video, but don't end up genuinely like denying any kind of social interaction just so you could be on your crazy Sigma grind or whatever the fuck, right? You know, that you could be doing instead. You know, you should also go out on some social occasions, you know, but for God's sake, Go out on those social occasions with people who genuinely give a fuck about you. So maybe that could be your family, that could be your friends on self-improvement, that could be like this really awesome girl, who is like just high quality as fuck, who is just in every kind of aspect of life, both mentally and physically, she's high quality, right? Then you wanna spend time with those people who are genuinely good for you, who are genuinely good for you, instead of those people who you don't even relate to that much, right? So instead of spending time with those bullshit people, you should also spend some time on social occasions with your friends that you truly care about, the friends that truly care about you, and who are preferably also on self-improvement, your family, and maybe that significant other that you will find along the way as you become a more masculine man. But for God's sake, don't spend your time with all these bullshit people, like all these side characters in your life, those NPCs basically, right? Who genuinely, they don't matter all that much to you, do they? Don't waste your time with those people. You're not missing out on anything by not being with those people and instead being focused on your work, focused on your mission. You're not missing out on anything, bro. Take it from my fucking experience. I've been 1 year into this, and I've had countless thoughts over the past year in which I was like, oh man, I'm missing out, I'm missing out, I'm missing out. I've come to the conclusion after a year of this that I'm not missing out. I mean, I'm missing out on like all those activities, but that doesn't mean that I'm missing out on something important. That doesn't mean that I'm missing out on something valuable that could be truly meaningful for me. No. I'm actually getting something valuable and meaningful by being on my own, by being focused on my own work, being focused on my own life, my own development. Yeah, man. Don't ever think that what those people are doing out there is more valuable than. I mean, yeah, if you're kind of like masturbating 3 times a day and you're playing a shit ton of video games and you generally cannot even like look a girl in the eye, then yeah, I guess being out on a party would be more productive than that. But I mean, bro, if you're watching this video and you're this far and you're still doing those things, then bro, not good. Genuinely, start the change. Start self-improvement right now. Don't wait. Don't fucking waste your life away, bro. But if you've already stopped masturbating, if you stopped playing video games, you've stopped going on social media, and you're already filling your time with all these fully productive activities and nothing else, you're genuinely getting so much more growth from that than by being out on a social occasion with all those people who are just there because they have all these insecurities in their life that they're running away from, that they're too scared to face. You really want to spend your time with people who are scared of who they are, who are scared of. Genuinely, you want to spend your time with people who are scared of spending 30 minutes in solitude, genuinely thinking about their lives, who are genuinely scared of what they will see. Do you really want to spend your time with people like that? Hopefully not. Hopefully fucking not. Yeah, man. You're not missing out on anything, bro. Keep focusing on your work, keep focusing on mission, and you'll get there, and you'll have the same realization that I did. Maybe in a different circumstance, in a different matter, but you'll have it. Just believe in it. Believe in yourself, and you'll get there, bro. Trust yourself. Be honest to yourself, and you'll get there. Good luck.